Oshawa, Ontario, a city on the rise, a place where families grow, dreams take root. It was a community that prided itself on its close-knit neighborhoods and the sense of security that came with knowing your neighbors. The streets were lined with trees, and children played freely in the parks. It was a picture of suburban bliss. But beneath the surface, a darkness festered. A chilling tale was about to unfold, shocking this quiet community to its core. It was a story that would reveal the hidden fears and unspoken anxieties that lay just beneath the surface of everyday life. The kind of story that makes you question how well you really know the people around you. It would expose the sinister secrets lurking beneath the veneer of normalcy, forever changing the lives of those touched by its icy grip. These secrets were not just whispers in the dark. They were the kind of truths that could shatter lives and tear apart the very fabric of the community. The kind of secrets that, once revealed, could never be forgotten. The story begins in the heart of Oshawa, a town grappling with an unsettling feeling. It was a feeling that crept into conversations, lingered in the air, and made people glance over their shoulders. It was as if the town itself was holding its breath, waiting for something to happen. It was the kind of unease that settles deep in your bones, a premonition of something terrible on the horizon. People went about their daily lives, but there was a tension, a sense that something was not quite right. It was a feeling that made the hairs on the back of your neck stand up, a sense of impending doom that you couldn't quite shake. Little did they know, the truth was far more horrifying than anyone could have imagined. It was a truth that would come to light in the most shocking and unexpected ways, revealing the depths of human depravity and the lengths to which some would go to hide their darkest secrets. The year was 2017. The air was thick with the promise of a hot summer. The sun beat down relentlessly, and the days seemed to stretch on forever. It was a summer that would be remembered not for its heat, but for the darkness that would soon envelop the town. But as the days grew shorter and the leaves began to turn, a palpable sense of dread descended upon Oshawa. It was as if the changing seasons were a harbinger of the darkness to come, a warning that something terrible was about to happen. It began with whispers, rumors spreading like wildfire through the community. People talked in hushed tones, afraid to speak too loudly for fear of what they might invoke. The rumors were vague at first, but they grew more detailed and more terrifying with each passing day. A young woman had vanished, swallowed whole by the night. Her disappearance was the spark that ignited the fear and suspicion that had been simmering beneath the surface. It was a disappearance that would haunt the town and its residents, a mystery that demanded answers. Her name was Rory Hache, and her disappearance would soon unravel a horrifying truth, exposing the dark underbelly of their seemingly peaceful town. It was a truth that would reveal the hidden dangers that lurked in the shadows, the secrets that people would do anything to keep hidden. And as the investigation unfolded, it would become clear that Rory's disappearance was just the beginning of a much larger, much darker story. Rory Hache, a vibrant 18-year-old, was last seen on a late summer evening. She was walking along a busy street, her bright smile a familiar sight to those who knew her. Then she simply vanished. Days turned into weeks, each one a painful reminder of her absence. Hope began to dwindle, replaced by a gnawing fear that something truly terrible had happened. As weeks turned into months, the mystery deepened. Rory's family clung to hope, desperately searching for answers. They organized searches, plastered the town with missing person posters, and pleaded for any information that could lead them to their beloved daughter. But the trail had gone cold. The community, once a beacon of hope, was now united by fear and uncertainty. Parents held their children a little tighter. Neighbors looked at each other with suspicion. The once familiar streets now seemed ominous, every shadow a potential hiding place for evil. Rory's disappearance had cast a long, dark shadow over Oshawa, leaving an indelible mark on its soul. The chilling truth about Rory Hache's disappearance would soon surface, but not in a way anyone could have anticipated. The events that unfolded were beyond the realm of anyone's darkest nightmares. In December of that year, a plumber responding to a routine call at a nondescript bungalow stumbled upon a scene of unimaginable horror. What he thought would be a simple fix turned into a discovery that would haunt him forever. In the home's plumbing, he found what no one should ever have to see: human remains. The gruesome discovery was not just a shock to him, but would soon become a focal point of a much larger, more sinister story. The discovery sent shockwaves through Oshawa. The realization that a young life had been taken, and in such a brutal manner, shook the community to its core. People who once felt safe in their homes now questioned the very fabric of their security. The quiet bungalow, once an unremarkable fixture in the neighborhood, was now the epicenter of a horrifying crime scene. Neighbors who had lived side by side for years were now looking at each other with suspicion and fear. The news spread like wildfire, turning whispers of fear into screams of terror. Media outlets swarmed the area, and the once peaceful streets were now filled with the chaos of flashing cameras and frantic reporters. The idyllic image of Oshawa, the safe haven for families, was shattered. Parents held their children a little tighter, and the sense of community that once defined the town was replaced by an overwhelming sense of dread. In its place stood a chilling reminder that evil could lurk in the most unexpected places, hidden beneath a veneer of normalcy. The facade of everyday life was stripped away, revealing the dark underbelly that lay beneath. The investigation into Rory Hache's disappearance had taken a sinister turn, leading investigators down a dark and twisted path. Each new piece of evidence uncovered only deepened the mystery, painting a picture of a crime that was as complex as it was horrifying. The community watched in horror as the details emerged, each more disturbing than the last, leaving everyone to wonder how such evil could have been hiding in plain sight. Section 4. The Investigation, a Trail of Disturbing Clues. The discovery of Rory Hache's remains in that ordinary bungalow was just the beginning. As police dug deeper, they uncovered a trail of disturbing clues. The investigation focused on the home's occupant, a seemingly unremarkable man named Adam Strong. But as they delved into his past, a sinister picture began to emerge. Strong's online activity revealed a morbid fascination with violence against women. His digital footprint was littered with disturbing content, painting a picture of a deeply troubled individual with a dark and twisted psyche. Investigators worked tirelessly, piecing together the puzzle of Adam Strong's double life. They meticulously combed through his home, searching for any shred of evidence that could connect him to Rory's murder. The investigation was complex and grueling, each new piece of evidence adding another layer to the already horrifying narrative. The more they uncovered, the clearer it became that they were dealing with a predator, someone who had been living amongst them, hiding in plain sight. Section 5. Adam Strong, the man behind the mask. Adam Strong, once an anonymous face in the crowd, became the subject of intense scrutiny. He was just another person you might pass by on the street without a second thought, blending into the background of everyday life. Neighbors who had once exchanged pleasantries with him now looked upon him with a mixture of fear and disgust. The friendly waves and casual conversations were replaced with whispers and wary glances. He was, by all outward appearances, an ordinary man. His demeanor was unremarkable, his habits mundane, and his interactions with others seemingly normal. He held down a job, lived a seemingly quiet life in a suburban neighborhood. His home was well kept, his routine predictable, and his presence unassuming. But behind this facade, a monster lurked. Beneath the surface of his ordinary existence, there was a darkness that few could have imagined. The investigation revealed a history of violence and depravity that shocked even the most seasoned detectives. They uncovered a trail of evidence that painted a horrifying picture of his true nature. Strong had a history of preying on vulnerable women, using charm and manipulation to lure them into his web of deceit. He was adept at identifying those who were most susceptible to his advances. He was a master manipulator, skilled at hiding his true nature behind a mask of normalcy. His ability to present himself as a trustworthy individual was both his greatest weapon and his most chilling trait. As the investigation progressed, a chilling pattern emerged. Each new piece of evidence added to the growing realization of the extent of his crimes. Strong's digital footprint revealed a disturbing obsession with violence, particularly against women. His online activities were a window into his twisted mind, showcasing his dark fantasies and violent tendencies. He frequented online forums dedicated to extreme and disturbing content, often engaging in conversations that sent chills down the spines of investigators. These forums were a breeding ground for his malevolent ideas and provided a community that fueled his depravity. The man who had once blended seamlessly into the fabric of Oshawa was now exposed for the monster he truly was. The mask had been ripped away, revealing the horrifying reality beneath. The community was left to grapple with the shock and betrayal of discovering that someone they thought they knew was capable of such evil.